Hey guys,
Hi guys.
welcome back to another episode of We Should Have Recorded That.
So we did.
I'm Jasmine,
I'm Ciara.
and this is episode number 7.
Yes.
Yeah.
Number 7.
We're laughing about it because we recorded earlier, and I said it was episode 6, and I know why now because when I logged on, it said episode 6. So
Okay,
in my
it was
mind.
just
But
stuck
yeah,
there.
this is definitely episode number
Yeah, we made it to
7.
lucky number 7.
Yeah, lucky number 7. And so New Year's was last week. I hope you guys are having a great New Year. It's been, I'm not gonna say it's not been eventful. I've just been busy.
Yeah, but that could be it.
But that's like literally it. Nothing. It hasn't been eventful. Just busy.
Yeah, maybe because I kind of went from like holiday and then just jumped back into work.
To work mode.
And very true.
Yeah,
So
grinding.
pretty uneventful for this New Year's.
Yeah, and actually, speaking of New Year's, so I don't know. I'm sure everyone saw it. What am I talking about?
At
I'm not
this
sure if you
point,
guys
yeah.
saw it, unless
Or
you're living
care
under
that
a
much, but
freaking
you
rock.
saw it.
Like, yeah, come on now. Everyone saw the photo of Blue Ivy, Beyonce,
her.
and Megan Thee Stallion. Like when I saw it, I was like, yes.
Yeah, it was just so cute.
Yes,
And it was
look
so
at this.
nice. And it was just,
I
I just
was
love that it
jealous.
was with Megan.
Yes.
Like, because then Beyonce didn't post anything else about it. So I'm
No.
like, this is just, they just look happy.
Yeah,
Like
having
New
a
Year,
great
having a
freaking
little party
time.
in the photo booth, just making making faces. That's what I saw. Just happiness.
And
Just
like,
some black girl joy right there.
and I was just jealous about it because I was.
was
Well, I
jealous.
mean, I definitely. I'm not gonna say I stand for Beyonce, but I love her. She's a great person. I don't know her
So
personally.
you definitely
I
stand
know. I don't.
with the
I
kid.
don't know. You know that has a negative connotation to it, but I love Beyonce, and I just think it's amazing that Meg got to meet Beyonce, but more importantly, Blue Ivy. Like for me, I just know Blue would be a great time. I feel like she's a smart girl.
Probably a mess.
Yeah, she's definitely, I think, very mature for her age. I don't know her once again, but
we don't know her.
I
We
just,
think we do.
I think, yeah, I do know her actually.
Yeah,
but
we
I
know
didn't
what
wanna
they
go there,
see,
but
and
I
she
did.
seems pretty damn cool to me.
Yeah, so I thought that was awesome. But some people took the time to hate,
Ignorant on the internet.
and you wouldn't believe who
Always
would be
so,
about
you know
either.
what? We've been saying this for years. It's
Yeah.
just so ungrateful when it comes to Blue Ivy.
Yeah, that's what
like
it comes down to.
we wait and wait to see what she's been up to.
Right.
Wait to see how
Right.
she's looking at. Just wait to see her growth, and
Right.
then as soon as we get it, so quickly it just becomes negative.
Right.
Like. Then we're judging her.
Right.
You didn't waited to see what she's looking like now, and then you just automatically just turn negative.
Right. So basically, what we're talking about is during that time frame, there on Twitter there was a journalist. I don't know his name. He writes for Vanity Fair because Vanity Fair and Harper's Bazaar are both magazines involved in the issue.
Yeah.
And he made a comment stating that basically Blue Ivy was starting to look like her dad, like his genes were showing.
His name's
I believe it-
Austin Collins.
Austin Collins.
And his
okay.
tweet actually stated, "We'll give you credit, Mr. Collins." It says, "I have a feeling the Jay-Z face genes are about to really hit Blue Ivy, and I feel so sorry for her."
Right. And then I guess he's friends with another journalist, and she works for Harper's Bazaar, and she says,
Vala Luca, she says she'll just get plastic surgery a la Kylie Jenner, and we'll all pretend that she's always looked that way. I can't allow myself to feel sorry for the incredibly rich. Okay.
now, I'm glad we read
Yeah,
this
reread
over
them.
because, you know, both of their comments are disgusting, but what I'm really disgusted with right now is the fact that she says she can't feel sorry
I feel sorry for her.
for the,
'Cause
what
they
is she even
rich.
talking about?
Yeah, like what? She feels sorry because she's ugly. Like, what do you
yeah,
mean?
what do you mean? What
See, I was about to be petty and say, "Are you ugly?"
Like,
but it's just
what does that mean?
who asked you to feel? Who asked you to feel sorry for her? That's number one. Why do you feel sorry for her? Number two, you just said she's rich. That's a plus. Like, no one's asking for you to. Like, maybe because she already knew she was going to get backlash or something.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. Like,
Maybe, but
I don't know. I think she's saying she can't feel sorry for that she's ugly. Like, I just can't even care. She's rich. She'll be fine. That's what I'm kind of taking from it.
I mean,
And I kind of say that too to follow up because they both have since deleted the tweets, of
Right.
course. But she followed up and said, I'm sorry, I was just making a joke. And she followed up and tweeted, "Sorry, I was cleaning my apartment while this blew up. Children of the famous ought to be off limits, but time and time again they haven't been. So I said something petty and have been called ugly, old, and racist." So she was saying like, I just made a comment about them like we all do, and now you guys are kind of turning that same aggression towards her. Well, yeah. Again, it doesn't make it right, but
you opened the door.
You blew the door open.
Yeah, like what do you mean?
You gave your comment, now I can give mine, so now I am judging you because
you're judging a little girl.
You were judging a child. Like your comments were just not needed. Like why are we continuing to just put this out? Like it will never stop if we don't start questioning some of the things that we're doing on social media.
That's very true. I mean. It's weird. And then kind of to expand on what happened next. So black girls on Twitter changed their photos to their younger selves to show how they looked when they were younger. And
kind of like in support of her. Like,
and
I don't even know, just to say like, this is just us. We were all kids at some point. Like, yeah, we could just want to support Blue Ivy.
Right. And I mean, overall for me, not even overall, but just getting into it, it's as an adult.
Jasmine's frustrated, guys.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Like as an adult, let me keep it real. Actually, let me start over a little bit. You can have an opinion of anybody.
You get one.
Yep, you sure can. I have feelings too about not Blue Ivy. I love her. She'll never hear this from me. But if you don't find a child attractive, that's for you to keep to your freaking self.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people don't remember that they were children once themselves. I'm not saying Blue Ivy's on the internet, but if she was, or if she's older and she's been dealing with behind the scenes, issues of people calling her dad, and usually women take that to heart. They take offense to you saying, I look like my dad. That's
instead of my mom. Like, it's a man. Like, just as simple as that. Like, it's a man.
Right.
So even if it's the best features or not, it's still like a man. My father can be gorgeous. It's still a man. So
Right. So it's weird. So this is what it comes down to. And more importantly, I don't even know if I really finished my thought, but because I'm so bothered by the dude, like, talking about it. You're a black man. Let's let that marinate. You're a whole adult black man commenting on a child and what she looks like. Do you like children, or what's going on here?
Yeah, because that's also it too. Because I can't figure out why you would feel the need to comment on this.
Right.
So you can comment on any issue in the world, but you decided to add your input onto a child who also happens to be black. So we already know, like, we don't even have to explain it anymore. We already know how black women are, like, constantly critiqued and reviewed, just always up for conversation. Right. So why did you feel to want to add your input here?
Right.
And then I can get jokes because everyone makes jokes, but it's just like, it's telling, and that's what kind of pissed me off. It's just telling of like the kind of person you are, because it wasn't needed. No, your input on the situation wasn't needed. You already saw, I know you saw hate, because the first thing I saw on Twitter was the hate and the negative remarks that were being said about the little girl. So it's like, why would you want to jump on that bandwagon? Like, you that much of a loser? I'm just wondering. Because all of y'all who out there responding about a fucking child, you're a loser. It really is nothing else I can explain about it. And that's why she's wondering why she's getting hate mail, because we're just wondering, why is this your, input into the world?
Right.
Like, this is what you decided. This is how you decided.
Comment on.
Yeah. So now we're giving you what you want. You get to be Insta famous for a day, and it's not fun.
Right. It's not fun at all.
Just like Blue Ivy popping up on Instagram for a day, and people just automatically thinking that they can judge the way she look. And my thing is just like, I don't know what what are you judging? Like, what are you really seeing in the little girl?
What are you looking for?
If you wanted to be attracted to her,
right.
Like you want her to look like a grown adult,
right.
Like, and then you have something to say about that. But to really look at her features and feel like they are like not pretty or ugly, it is weird that you have
an opinion
on that child. Because I'm just thinking about like growing up. You know when they say like you talk about somebody's child, your child is ugly.
Yeah.
Again, that was us being young and immature. So you're a grown ass man now. Right. Why are you still in that same place, sir?
Right.
Like anyone can have a joke. It can it just wasn't even a good joke either. Like it wasn't even original.
Right.
People been saying she look at her father for a while, and automatically when you hear it, we know what the connotation is. Like, we know it's not, them trying to say something positive about her, but why can't she look like her fucking father?
Right.
She also, it's disgusting.
There's nothing wrong with her looking
like
her dad. It is her dad.
Yeah, she know who her father is to look like. Like, come, let's talk about that.
Right.
She also looks a lot like her mother.
Yeah.
Especially in that picture, she was fucking smiling beside her mother.
Right.
That's all I was doing was comparing that features. Like, oh my gosh, she looks like whoever she's with. That's the one thing.
Right.
So she looked just like her mother. And I'm like, it does upset you because it's like it never stops.
Right.
And it always becomes a thing. So that was another issue online. Like, well, why is this a thing? Because y'all literally made it a thing.
Right.
Like, we are the people who keep commenting about it, then always making it negative. Of course, you're gonna have people who want to just stick up for Black women sometimes.
Right.
Like, that's I think what it is. Like, it's just us saying like, oh, again, y'all coming for us again.
Mm-hmm.
Let us just rally behind each other and support each other.
Right.
And when celebrities did that, now they under attack.
Right.
Like Teyana Taylor and Lennox. It's like, I'm confused, guys.
And you were saying something, and I was about to turn it around, but I think I don't know. Oh, going back to what I don't think I ever finished my thought. People have to I don't know. You can have an opinion. Like I get it. You maybe again. I'm not going to say you cannot look at a child and say that they're unattractive. I get it. But to go online and, post and actually type it out.
Takes a lot of energy.
That's a lot. Like that's a lot for me. So that's where I draw the line. And again, I definitely love Blue Ivy. So I take personal offense to it. And I think she's cute. She's a gorgeous little girl. Like,
I really want to know what features they're judging, because she looks like so many people that I've seen, so many babies I've seen. Like, she looks like her. She looks very normal. Like, I really want to know, like, what were you expecting? Like, for Beyonce to wear matching outfits with her. Didn't y'all have a comment about that? Like, children are children. Like, sometimes she dresses up, sometimes she don't. Sometimes she dresses like a kid. It's like, she's a child. Why would we want to manipulate her as being a child? Like, even, like, I was loving her hair was straightened in the video. And I'm sure that took her mom a lot to be like, I'm going to let you straighten your hair.
Right.
So it was a lot to see online.
Yeah. I mean, and I have to add my own personal experiences. When you were saying, I thought about my grandmother instantly. Because it's a part of, because the journalist is Black.
Yes.
And then the lady who said she was being called racist, she's white. And I'm adding that into it because it's coming, my point is it's coming from different sides.
Yeah.
People,
it's
having
always
to,
everybody.
comment on what a child looks like. And it goes back to this, because the issue is, it does go back to features, because they're referring to Jay-Z being ugly due to his pronounced features. That's what they're saying. Because my grandmother, she like, like she don't sugarcoat stuff. Like, even when sorry, mommy, but mama tells the story. But yeah, when she had my mother, like she was young. She was 18, but she was like crying. Like,
I remember.
Like, because of the way my mother looked, because she's ugly, like,
like how
did I have this baby? Yes. I would never produce a baby like this. And then she's like called her grandmother, and her grandma was like, "It's okay, baby, we're gonna love her anyway."
This is too much. Sis was really upset.
Yeah, she was very, very upset. She was like dead crying over the fact that she didn't like the way my mother looked. She was just like, I couldn't have had a baby like this. And she said when she opened her eyes, because my grandmother has hazel eyes, and my mother opened her eyes and she saw her eyes were gray. She was like, oh my God, this is my child.
Doing. So she really like, no, y'all switched to me.
Yeah, she knew. She said, that's not my baby.
This one not mine.
She said the nurse came in and was like, oh, Miss Scott, here's your baby. She said, that's not my baby. She's like, what do you mean? Like, she said, that's not my baby.
She saw one of her jeans and like, damn it.
Yeah. She's like, oh, it is. She is mine.
That's mine. Oh my gosh, can't treat it now.
Yeah.
I can't. That's hilarious. I mean, that's honest. Like, I don't want it to go any further than that. Like,
That's
you
it.
don't hate you, baby, but
Yeah.
you can make an honest comment. You can have a reaction. You are actually old fat. That's fine. It's just the next step that our generation, well, it's all the generations now, who have decided to take just so they can participate online.
Right.
And
And you brought up this earlier about Teyana Taylor and Ari Lennox, and this kind of ties into what the issue is with the Blue Ivy thing, because it's tying back to her dad with the pronounced features.
Yes.
And so basically, again on Twitter, Twitter's just popping over the freaking weekend. So on Twitter, a random person made a comment stating that even though Ari Lennox and Teyana Taylor have high sex appeal, you know, can't you guys agree though still that they look like I'm sorry, Rottweilers?
I don't like Jasmine today. I don't. I can't get past it. Okay, Jasmine, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I think it's funny. I'm sorry. That comment was funny.
Why? Okay, let's try to explain. Why do you think you were like just now you overanalyzing it? Why do you think you were able to laugh at that comment?
Yeah, I mean, when I read the comment from the guy, number one, I went into it thinking it was going to be like direct.
Okay.
Like I just knew that there was going to be a huge issue. I was like, I'm going to really take offense to this. And then when I read it, I was like, oh, I mean, a Rottweiler? Like, I was just like, and then instantly, not Ari, but Teyana Taylor, like, I think she's gorgeous. Let me just say that. Gorgeous girl. I don't think she's ugly at all. But when I think about her, after that, reading that comment, I was like, yeah, she reminds me of, I looked it up, she doesn't look like a child, but, her eyes, like, yeah, I saw a
pup.
little,
You can see
puppy.
like
she's
puppy.
adorable.
So you didn't take his comment necessarily like negatively.
I didn't.
You just kind of like, oh, it's a statement. It's funny. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I was about to just start, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then also what I did, so after I read that, I left it there. Okay. I did read other comments. People were clearly upset. I was still trying to find what they were really upset about.
The anger.
Looking
about
for,
this specific comment, like them responding to this.
Tweet.
Okay, got it.
So then I went, Ari Lennox responded to this person. Basically, she was crying. She was upset. She was upset because she said that she gets comments like that all the time, and she wanted to know why people feel like they need to say stuff like that about people. And I understood exactly where she was coming from. I would be highly upset too if I was getting this every single day. For me, I'm not her. I'm not going to say it because I already said I can understand where she's coming from. But in this specific instance, what this person said to me, I thought it was funny to me, but I can see how she was upset. And I'm going to leave it there.
Okay. No, I mean, you explained it, and I think so we definitely talked about this offline.
Yeah.
And I can understand, like, just how you processed it. So I can understand it was definitely a joke. No matter how hurtful it was a joke. So we don't got to kill him for making a joke. But for me, I don't even like allow myself to kind of laugh at that shit anymore. Like I can't even allow myself to laugh at it because it's like, it's weird to me that it keeps coming up. Like I don't understand why black men keep making black women a butt of their jokes. I don't understand. Again, this was a conversation that it stemmed from Blue Ivy. Here's Ari Lennox supporting Blue Ivy, and now a black man is sit back and look at a black woman and say, like, I get it all. Like, I'm gonna let you finish, but that's what I got from it. I'm gonna let you finish, but let's be honest. Like, they bad girls, but they still look like dogs. Like, their features remind me of a dog. Like, no matter how cute we think this damn dog is or not, like, that was crazy for me and inappropriate for me for a black man to say on a public space. Because I want people, we have to start remembering, like, what Twitter is. Like, you don't think people sit back watching these fucking tweets? Like, they are watching this shit. Like, Black Twitter controls so much of what we see in the media now. Like, they are watching this shit. So they see black men continue to, like, degrade black women. That's why everybody else is doing it. No one is sticking up for black women. Then not the first time, but they try to do it this time to support Blue Ivy, and it's like, let's just make another fucking joke. Like, like, again, you cute, but you look like a dog. And I don't even think he said cute. He said sex appeal.
Yeah, sex appeal.
High sex appeal. So their bodies is right. But again, they look like dogs. Like their features, the same features his motherfucking mother probably have, his sister have, looks like a dog. The same features that he had look like a dog. And it's just weird to me because, like I told you before, like I've heard jokes like that before. Not about myself, not about Ciara, but I've heard.
Let me make that clear.
I'm just saying because I've heard these jokes like in elementary school, in middle school, like that's something that dumb little kids literally say, like, shut up, you dog. Like, they call girls bitches, like female dogs. Like, that's what it was said. It's not an original joke. Him making this comparison now is like, it's just, I really want to know why you're reiterating it. Looking at Teyana Taylor, she has very strong features. Like, she does. And they used to say she looked like a man, like, so now that her body is more feminine, like she's still very muscular, but now in her body, she got the right muscle in these places where she still has sex appeal. I can give her that, but I'm still gonna comment on her fucking natural features on her face. That's weird to me. And it made me look at Teyana and Ari Lennox features on that face. Like, people are literally paying for Teyana's entire face. Her fucking jawline, her lips, her nose, her cheekbones, her eyebrow, like everything on that girl's face is weird. Like, cause that's what they're paying for. But for somehow the compilation on her face, she still looks like a dog. That's weird to me. I don't understand it. It's weird that black men are still in that space. Again, I thought we had grown past that shit. I thought it was middle school, and that's why I'm like, it's a joke, and I'm sure let me add my 2 cents. I'm gonna make a joke, but no, for real, y'all, they look like dogs. Like, he's trying to be funny, but it's crazy because the girl that you're talking about saw that. Like, that's what you get. Like, she saw it and she's telling you, like, no, yo, this shit, it still got effect on me. She's a fucking pop star right now, and it still has an effect on her because it's just constantly reiterated. And I just think, like, did somebody make you post that? Like, why is this the message you want to keep reiterating, like, on this fucking thread? Why not just support them? It's weird. So I don't understand it. And again, my first reaction I read it, I was reading thinking he was about to like be in support of them, and then it just turned. And I'm like, I don't know why black men would continue to see black women like that. Like, and we had conversations offline, and he said, well, what if we changed up the animal? Like, maybe it wasn't a dog he compared it to. Maybe it was like, what do we say, like a bird or something, something that don't have any.
Really, no. What we were talking about is, and I can understand right now, and I don't care that people are not going to understand what I'm about to say.
Okay.
I understand a Rottweiler is a dog.
Okay.
First of all, number one, I was thinking pit bull in my mind this entire time we were having the conversation.
She was taking that for the pit bull. Pit bull face is strong as shit. Like, it looks just like a dog. A Rottweiler, I can find some cuteness in it. A pit bull, okay.
I don't know, but anyway. So yes, okay. Because my question was, what if you took away Rottweiler and you said poodle, I said like a chow.
Yeah, like a cute little friendly dog.
Okay, but I guess overall, when people think of a Rottweiler, I guess people think
a rough-ass Rottweiler.
You said vicious.
Yes, a Rottweiler. Like, you think, like, if someone said pit bull, the connotation, maybe for you, because you love dogs, wouldn't think of, like, the aggressive version of a pit bull. Yeah. But when you say a pit bull, something like a mean, strong pit bull. Yeah. That's what I'm going to think. So a Rottweiler, that's where my mind went to. So, yeah, we did change it to say, like a Pomeranian.
Yeah.
Okay, we know those are cute little tiny dogs. Well, maybe not even cute because they look like rats. So little tiny little, cutesy.
Cutesy dogs.
Cutesy dogs, right?
Would that be okay? I mean, for me, Rottweiler did not bother me.
Yeah, so that's why I was saying, so maybe for me, it bothered me because I'm equating a Rottweiler to like a aggressive, mean, ugly dog. Right. So if I switched it to a cuter, friendlier dog, would I still be upset? And I would say yes, because that's what his intention was. That's what I feel his intention was for that tweet. The way he prefaced it, he didn't say like, you know, if he only had said like, oh my gosh, can we be honest, they look like dogs, I would just be like, you know, just move on. It wouldn't even be as big. But the fact he said like, nah, they mad, sex appeal. But again, they look like dogs. Like, what looks like, the body don't look like a dog. So you're talking about her face. So he is being very, you know, precise with his words to kind of say like, I know, like, we think they bad, but they look like dogs. Like, that's what his intention was. Like, again, I can't be 100% sure because I don't know him, but that's what I'm taking. So even if they said the same thing and we changed it to a chow, I will be like, well, why is he saying, like, you know, she looks like a chow. It might not have been as bad. Now, I know a monkey, I would be like, what the fuck is going on, right? Because we know the monkey in his relation to the black community. I would be pissed. I would be even more livid. But if it was still a dog, I would just be like, why would we want to compare a black women's teacher to a dog? I would still wonder that and wonder, why is this the comment that he made? Because I'm peeping what he's trying to say.
Right. And I get what you're saying. And, you know, maybe he is trying to say that. Mm-hmm. Maybe he's not. For me, and it could be from my own personal experiences and just how I view it. I didn't see any. If someone said I look like, first of all, if someone said I look like a Rottweiler, I wouldn't agree. Mm-hmm. I would find another dog that I look like.
Okay, so just compare dog. This is me.
I look more like this. Like I'm not going to say. I am going to say it. I took it very lightly.
You took it, yeah. That's why you still saw the joke in it, because it definitely was still a joke. It just was a very mean-spirited joke that I feel like it was very telling to him, and that's why I wonder why he hated himself.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has some. Maybe he has some issues. Maybe.
I mean, yeah, it's always maybe, but that's what we say. Like when we talk about people dating outside of their race, you can always say, well, maybe they just like who they like, perfect, but sometimes when they date outside of their race and also talk bad about the black woman, is like, well, where is it coming from? And maybe it's coming from somewhere else. So his comment, I'm like, sir, I feel like it may be coming from somewhere else. And I don't like that you're putting it out there, and look, it actually got back to the person and you hurting her even more.
Right.
I don't like it.
Right. And that's what we talked about too. Like that's the issue.
Yes.
That's really the issue for me. That's the only thing I took for me. I'm sorry. And
you loved it. And I'm sorry. One last thing. I had to just explain to Jasmine, like, her, like, you're free to have your opinion on it as well. But I just want you to know, like, just for like these crazy, like, you know, polar topics that we discuss, like, it's obviously okay to have your opinion, but we can't only have like opinions on something when it affects us, because
I can.
I mean, obviously you can. I'm just saying, like, obviously you can have any opinion you want, but that's literally a white person saying, I can't give a shit about slavery. I can't give a shit about black people in their struggle. I can't give a shit about brown people in their struggle. That's literally what they say, because just because they don't understand it, it's like it takes away from the negative that it is, but it doesn't. It doesn't take away from what someone else is experiencing, because it doesn't affect you.
Well, this is the thing. Again, I never said I didn't understand it. I always said that I thought it was funny. Period. That's where I'm at. Now, I can see why Ari was crying about it. I can totally get it.
But you can't see other people being upset about it?
I guess I can see why they would be upset, because it definitely affects them.
But that's what I'm saying. Him calling her a dog didn't affect me, Ciara, personally. It had an effect on me because I felt like him making these comments about a black woman is the issue. Just how, like, we can try to simplify and say the journalist making the comment about Blue Ivy is because they're talking about a child. Like, that's how we
told you, for me, that was
so that's what I'm saying. So that's how we simplify it, because obviously we aren't in that position, but we can understand that it's not okay because of that issue. I can understand that his comments about Ari Lennox and Teyana are not okay because he's speaking of a black woman. Period. Like, that's the reason. Like, it doesn't affect me. Everything won't affect me, but I can still have maybe even a stronger opinion on it, because I can see, like, what the wrong's been done. Literally a white person saying like they don't understand police brutality because it hasn't happened to them or their family, it's not going to affect them. Like, it will never affect them the way that it affects black people. But they still have to be able to see the wrong that's occurring, the wrong that's keep occurring, and that we're allowing. Like, that's the bigger issue.
I get what you're saying. I've said it again. I mean, I've said it. I'm gonna say it again.
Okay.
I see what the issue is. I get it. I get what you're saying. I can see how it can affect people.
This is always me. This is always when we
say?
Disagree. Go ahead.
Because we didn't talk about it yet. But I told you what the bigger picture was for me. We're talking. I thought it was funny. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
I see why she was upset. Yes, I can see why other people are upset. The bigger picture, the bigger issue is people not knowing when to say what.
Yes.
I think is the bigger issue. I think it's a problem for a person, a random person, I mean, me, whoever, to go online and to make a comment about anybody without thinking that you could be offending that person. I can give you a prime example. I never forget. I don't care for Kylie Jenner. I don't like her.
Okay.
You know, and it's for a lot of reasons. That's another topic for a whole nother day.
Yeah,
Actually, it will never happen.
Yeah, we don't got
never
time.
come out of my mouth. But I remember I was so angry, and I was like, I need to let her know she is not attractive.
Okay.
So I knew it was going to hurt her feelings, and I didn't have the balls to even put it under my own comment. I took somebody else's phone, one of my friend's phone, and I put it on there. But I felt so good because it got out, because I wanted her to know how I felt. It wasn't right, and I knew it wasn't right.
Okay.
You know, but I just had to say it. That's a different Jasmine. That's Jasmine from years ago. If it was me now, I wouldn't even bother to say it to that person directly. I'm not really trying to hurt your feelings. Like,
you just
obviously you have issues. So that's what it comes down to. Again, I can tie all this together.
Let's hear it.
Ari Lennox has an issue, period, with herself, period.
Okay.
She cannot take that away. If she was, I'm not going to say she's not confident in herself, but maybe some days she's not confident in herself.
About that.
And I'm not going to say she's not confident in herself, but some days maybe she struggles with it. Especially if you go online to promote simple stuff like your music, and you just happen to see one comment that says something about your face and another, and it affects you because you're really not always 100% about what you look like. Because that's the only thing I can think of. Because if I don't have any issues with myself, then I don't see how this would be relevant. Well, I wouldn't even respond. I wouldn't even be crying. Period. Let me finish.
Okay.
So
yeah, I took a heavy breath.
Please do, or whatever. So finish what I have to say.
Okay. Inhale, exhale. Got it.
But and then Ari said she said herself, please make sure you tell your children you're beautiful, love your children, all this stuff. Obviously, I'm thinking that's a reflection of how she feels. Maybe she didn't feel like she got that love and support when she was younger, so she's telling other people to do the same. And it goes back to both people. So going back to Blue Ivy. Her parents, obviously, I would think, just from what Beyonce puts out there, instills for them to be proud of who they are, what they look like, no matter what. Okay. The people who commented on Blue Ivy obviously didn't have that. So I'm saying, to tie it all together, people definitely, number one, need to be confident about themselves. They need to be careful of what's being said because of how it can affect others. And that's where I'm going to leave it at.
Okay, thank you. So again, I can hear you. I don't know if I can agree with you at this moment. Okay. I could change. But just based off of just that, again, like, my issue is always like, why is it Ari Lennox's issue that he has a comment on her? Why is it her issue that something that he said affected her? I don't think it's fair at all to say, oh, well, because it affected you, it's because you have an issue within you. And that's what we got to be clear, because, again, you saying that something doesn't affect you because you don't have an issue with it, that's how you deal with stuff. Like, you think this joke is so funny because it doesn't have an issue with you. Now, if it is something that triggers you now as an issue, that's not even we can't handle stuff that way. Like, that may be how you try to, rationalize things for yourself, but for her, it doesn't have to be that she has some deep-seated issue with herself. It's just that, no, something about her has been like repetitively said to her. Him saying it the reason she's reacting this way doesn't have to be because he's the 100% saying it, the 100th person saying it. It could literally be that he's saying it. That's it. Like, it don't have to be like, oh my gosh, I'm back to this place where I'm triggered. She's like, no, people say this shit all the time. It's crazy that I would even have to think about my relationship with myself or my, confidence or my beauty. Like, it shouldn't even be happening. But remind your children so that way when it does happen, you aren't affected by it. That's a good message to put out to people.
It's a good message.
But it still can affect you. Like, if someone literally says that I'm ugly, it's easy to say you don't believe it because you know it not to be. I know, I get that. But again, people call Beyonce ugly every day. That don't mean that she's not angry about it because she's not ugly. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, obviously, she can be like content with herself enough to where it won't affect you, but it still don't mean that you're not gonna have a reaction from it. Like, someone can tell the most beautiful person in the world who's completely confident in themselves that they're ugly. Them having an emotion about it doesn't mean that they low-key think that they're ugly. It don't mean that they have any demons that they're trying to fight within themselves. Like, this shit is not about Ari Lennox. It's about the troll online who thought that it was okay to comment on her. That's period. That's it. When people comment on black women hair, it's not about me hating my hair. Like, we be psychoanalyzing ourselves for no fucking reason. Like, we can have our own issues aside from that, but you deciding to put that shit on me does not, it's not a reflection of myself. That it doesn't. And that's how we gotta stop internalizing stuff. Like, it can't just be that, oh, this ignorance can slide because this one didn't hurt me. Like, that's not right. That's not how anybody is going to learn from anything, even just saying like, oh, it's accepted. It's accepted. Like, it didn't hurt enough people, so it's okay. Like, no, just stop that shit. Like, we definitely need to be responsible. I mean, that's not what you're fully saying, but I'm saying, I feel like the message that you're saying where it can keep this shit going. That's what I feel. Because, again, we can't just think about stuff that only applies to us. And again, when stuff happened to us, you shouldn't even be internalizing it to think that, well, does this hurt me or not? Like, that isn't even your place. Like, it's not even right for you. You don't have to take on that burden.
That's why I laughed when I saw it.
But you laughed. But for somebody, she could have laughed when she saw it too, but then been like, yo, this shit ain't even right.
She wasn't. She was crying.
I know, because she has her own issues, but it don't have to be.
You just had a whole soliloquy about how she does not have issues. And
no, I didn't say she don't have issues. I literally said that we don't know. She said that this shit happens to her all the time, but she doesn't have to be hurt because someone's calling her ugly again. Like, that's like literally a flat person who can have a million issues. Right. You calling me fat today is maybe that's not what's really breaking her. Right. It's just that she's like, yo, this shit is tiring.
It's a lot.
This has happened before. His comment, definitely, I will hope that it didn't break her. But again, if today he called her ugly and she let it slide, again, that's not a reflection on her. Like,
and I said that too. I made all my points, and maybe it's because I'm very good at jumping from one perspective to the other. Maybe it's not coming across that way. I said what he said was funny to me.
To you.
Okay. Now, Ari Lennox, she was crying about it. I completely understood where she was coming from.
It,
I get it.
We can't be saying that, yes, because she already has like issues and things.
I got you. So I'm leaving it there. That's where I left it at before. We'll leave it there. And then I gotta say, because you asked me about other people, do I understand why they were feeling the way too? And I get it. I totally understand. And then the main thing is, out of all of this conversation, for her and for him, you need to watch what you say. You could have an effect on someone. Ari sitting there crying about what's going on. And I'm not saying from this one comment. She didn't say that this specific comment bothered me. She said, I get stuff like this all the time. I don't like it. All right, cool. So I'm just saying, overall, this is my point. If I didn't make this point earlier, my point is watch what you say. You could affect somebody like Ari. You could have an effect and not even know it, like the dude. Maybe he does have an issue. And you put it out there, other people reading it, you can offend people. Yeah, you should watch what you say. That's it, period. And it goes back to Blue Ivy and these adults. Apparently, you need to watch what you say in front of children. They grow up to be adults who have issues. And it could be these adults that commented on a child that has the issue. So I'm saying, watch what you say.
So date someone commenting on all right. The issue was with Lennox. That's what I was speaking about.
I know, and maybe you're talking to someone in the audience because
no, I'm talking to you who keeps saying
what you want me to say.
The way you keep separating it, it's like you never explain it. You're not explaining anything. You're literally you're saying just you and Ari. That's all we're talking about. Same commenting. I don't want you to say anything. I want you to understand that.
I mean, I do want to get. I'm sorry.
I want you to just understand that, again, you and Ari Lennox, okay? Comment in the middle. Mm-hmm. You read comment, don't think anything of it. Mm-hmm. She reads comment, think it's unfair. Or maybe not even Ari Lennox, you and me.
Okay.
Completely different people. Because the comment wasn't about either of us.
Right.
You reading comment and laughing, right? Because I'm sure that was a lot of people's reaction. Even if they don't agree with the comment, they still could laugh at it, right? But you still have to be able to understand the gravity of it without saying, well, it didn't affect me, so it was still funny.
Yes, that's a part of my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
The main part of my whole argument, my main opinion, the bigger issue outside of all of this, of what we just said, the big issue is what you say out your mouth.
Yeah,
on Twitter.
Yes, because that's what we want to focus on.
Because you and I are saying the same thing, essentially. You're saying I should have been reacting in this moment.
No, I'm just saying because you can't. If you're saying we don't know who this person is, but watch you say on Twitter, but you laughing at like the craziness that they putting on Twitter, it's kind of counterintuitive then.
No.
What they gotta watch for? His joke hit. His joke is funny. Like what is he learning?
At the end of the day, from the backlash, obviously it offended people. So at the end of the day, people need to watch what it is that they do online. I do it all the time. For a long time, I didn't even comment on social media because I was like, people are going to sit there and judge every little thing that I have to say, or I don't want to offend somebody. So I completely understand everything. I get it all. But what I'm saying is, and I think I don't know. I'm separating everything. That's just how I operate. That's how I think.
A lot of the world does.
That's what I do. But overall, what I've said is that you do need to watch what you say. And if you're going to say it, be confident in what you have to say. Let it be what it is. Again, not saying it's right or wrong, but that's where I'm at on it.
I mean, I get it. I just feel like, and we may not ever get there ever in life, but I feel like that's how you process it. It's you. That's who you are. But if you would ever want to think about it another way, you should probably think about why you only process things that way. Just because it's not...
Why I should care about everything?
No, you shouldn't care about everything. That's what I'm trying to say. This is your way of censoring yourself. Clearly, this is your way of how you handle the world. Like, it could work for you. It could be the best way. I'm just saying, though, if you are ever going to interact with other people, you have to think you cannot only care about the things that affect you. Like, that's it.
I don't do that. So I think about people all the time.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You care about people. I'm talking about if something happening. Maybe how I always put myself in people's shoes. Maybe you shouldn't always not put yourself in it and see if it hurts you or affects you. That may not be the best way because again, it's no room for any growth that way. You only going to decide to make a next step if it affects you.
That's not true.
Well, you just said that's how you can laugh at the joke. Because
that's the only way I can answer you. I don't know how else to answer you.
I understand that's you answer. That is literally your response.
That's it. I didn't say I didn't understand the issue. I didn't say that. You asked me how can I laugh.
You've been very clear. I get it, and you get it, and I know. I told you I laugh at some crazy. I get it, some crazy stuff. But again, I'm telling you that I can see a joke in a million things. I can still see the joke in that, but it cannot only be wrong because Ari Lennox was, had a reaction to it. That's not why it's wrong because it hurt Ari Lennox. Do you see that?
It can be.
I mean, for this joke, do you see that it's not only wrong when it actually hurt her?
Ciara, I don't know. I feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over again. I
But
don't
it's
know how
like
else to
not
really
really
say
going
it.
anywhere else though, because again, you
does.
said
People should watch what they say, right?
but
You
not
are
nothing is wrong
offending
with the joke. Just be
I can. I
watch
said
what you
I
say so it don't
understand
affect
what
other
she's
people.
saying. Yes, I can see why she's. If we're talking about this one joke, that's not what she said. If she's offended
because
by,
she had other things. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's.
but if she's
responding
offended,
to the
if Ari
joke.
Lennox is offended by that particular joke, I get it. I get why people responded with such disdain for it. They were like, "I can't believe you did this." I get it. That's it. I don't have to say I sympathize with it. I can say I get it. That's what I do.
No, I think you don't want to say you empathize with it, but you should be able to say that you sympathize with it. You don't have to take it on, but you should be able to understand.
Oh, I feel like I've said that 1,000 times. Let me use these words. I empathize with it. I don't sympathize with it. Does that make it easier?
No, other way around. But okay.
No, empathy is
You feeling it.
Right.
Sympathy is you feeling it for them. You don't put yourself in it. You sympathize with them.
okay. Well, then what you just said.
I mean, no, I hear you, and
That's it.
We
That's how I go.
This is how every conversation ends because
Yeah.
you don't hear yourself.
I do hear myself.
You
clearly,
don't, but
clearly.
you don't. I'm just.
I know
That's why
myself
I'm really
very
trying to think.
well.
And obviously, you know, because you know your stance clearly on it, which is still just as,
What should I be doing?
alarm. It's not what you should be doing. It's you really got to figure out the way that you look at the world. Like that's it. Just how I would tell a white person who does nothing against, black issues. You should be able to see the world different. You shouldn't keep removing yourself from it. That's it. Like you shouldn't only respond when it hurts you. So if it's an issue where it does affect you or it doesn't hurt you, I kind of want to be like, don't say nothing now because like you.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Too, I totally agree. We're on a platform where I have a freaking opinion. That's my opinion. That's it. That's the only reason. Any other day, I would have kept it moving. I wouldn't have cared. I wouldn't have had no discussion about it.
Yeah.
Because I get it, but what else you want me to say?
I'm telling you, I hear you.
You want me to start a riot?
No, I don't want you to start a riot. Ciara didn't take any other steps towards doing anything about it. Like, I'm not telling you to start a campaign or anything. I'm just saying that, again, our world, if we ever want any part of this world to change, we can't have the rest of the world also feeling like Jasmine. That's my conclusion from it. We would never grow past anywhere. If everyone decided, well, again, I got to just continue moving on with life now.
I get what you're saying. I do understand where you're coming from, and I definitely would never want to put myself in a position where I'm not able to grow. But just being who I am, I've grown so much in life that it's just not a
I'm
thing.
not talking about you as a person.
I
know I can't understand
but
how
I'm
you
just
process
saying,
stuff.
like, it's just people should be.
I know.
That's what I'm
So
thinking.
since we're on the topic, we haven't even talked about this as much, but just the issue with the U.S. government decided to do a fucking airstrike on
I
Iran.
hurt you.
No, we have to talk about it real quick.
How?
We will.
Are you not understanding? We're on a short lifeline here.
Okay. Well, that's gonna be a stop. Can we stop?
Okay.
Jasmine, we have to talk about this. Is important. We talking about fucking Blue Ivy hair.
That's important too.
Love you, kid. But it's some bigger shit going on. We about to go to war. It's real. But how long do we have left?
I don't know. That's the thing.
So why are you stressing me out and you don't know how long we
Because
have
I need
left?
to stop it so that way we can make sure we can have enough.
Just stop. It'll just turn off if we don't have enough, Jasmine. Stop it. You really just got to stop. But it is another conversation for another day because it's about politics and the media.
And I need to do research.
Okay, I'll give you, yes, we'll double back to this.
Because I need to have an opinion.
Okay. I don't like you. All right, guys.
All right, guys.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.